Hey, listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MP. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey,
We got quite a few matches across Bash in Berlin and No Mercy this weekend to talk about, so let's just crack straight into the WWE Premium live event. We got 5 matches announced at this time. Gonna start at the bottom of the Wikipedia list and head on up. Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn going against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for that WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
it should be an all right match. I do think Jade is getting better uh, with each match that she has. So uh, that said, I do think this is I think this is the end of Bianca and Jade Cargill as a tag team. I think the Unholy Union retains, and then I think Jade the Storm will hit Bianca Belair after the match.
Yeah, I think we'd been obviously that storyline was on the horizon. Us and a lot of other people called it out at the time. They eventually lost the titles at Clash at the Castle. We weren't fully expecting it. No sudden explosion. Seemed to still be working together fine. Got themselves back into this feud with the Unholy Union. We had we're gonna have the 6-woman tag team match, and yeah, now we're getting ourselves another shot back at the titles. I think there is 2 ways that it can go. It feels kind of funny talking about it that way in a straight up tag team match, but it's either, as you say, those 2 are going to explode, or they're going to capture the titles and we're going to delay that explosion storyline. And it all just, for me, comes down to when they want to begin that program, when they want to do Bianca versus Jade. They want to slow burn to it and do it at WrestleMania, or if they want to pull it off at Royal Rumble, perhaps even Survivor Series. A lot of opportunities between now and then to have these 2 clash.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see them picking the titles back up. And I think in order for that to happen in a situation where it is a straight up one-on-one tag team match, the match either needs to end in a disqualification or straight up one of the members of Bianca and Cargill turns on the other during the match.
Mm.
And I think the second option is much more likely than the first option.
Yep. We will have to see who ends up walking out holding those championships, but a match that doesn't have championships on the line, just has pride, is going to be a strap match. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, second match of the series. Seth Rollins taken out of the picture. I would say there's nothing in between them now, but now there's a strap between them.
Yeah, I feel like this will be interesting. It's historically strap matches have not always been that good in WWE. There have been some pretty good ones, but that strap does seem to limit the possibilities in a match.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do think one of my favorite strap match finishes was the one that had I forget who it was. But it was being carried on the back of one. It was tapping the ring posts at the same time, and then flipped over the front of the person and got to the fourth before the other one did. But I like when they do ingenuity in that. I think this is just going to be a straight up fight that's going to leave both guys bloody, and I don't know how, but I think Punk wins and then gets his head kicked off.
Yeah, I think for this one, again, we'd been plotting it out, obviously, with Bad Blood coming up, putting them in the cell, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk there. The only sort of path that makes sense given our result at SummerSlam and given that future point in time, if that is where we are going, is for CM Punk to pick up the win here in the strap match, call it 1-1, and then go into the cell all tied up for, all the marbles. It makes sense. It does the storyline well. CM Punk didn't pick up his first, big match back, but he can pick up the second. Drew ain't gonna be hurt by a loss, especially um, given the strap was something that I guess CM Punk brought into the feud. They're gonna, want to just beat the HE double hockey sticks out of each other, and we'll see them do it at this pay per view, and we'll see them do it at the next pay per view probably. And I guess talking about people who just want to beat up on each other, mixed tag team match: Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley going up against Dirty Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Another blood feud that is heating up in Berlin.
Yeah. Much to the surprise of, well, no one. Um, Obviously the eventual thing is for Damien versus Finn, but to get there, we did need to go through the rest of the Judgment Day. And Damien and Rhea are huge faces right now. That said, I think Liv and Dom steal it. I think they find a way, absolutely do Priest and Ripley dirty, and come out on top, and then that will lead further on towards Liv versus Rhea in the cage. And I think it might involve Finn Balor. Because remember, Finn did say he will never see it coming. He will stab him in the back repeatedly. I think he gets involved in the match and costs Priest and Ripley the match.
Yeah, I think it's a highly probable outcome. When you look at this one, you're right. The two future outcomes that we're looking at is Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bad Blood, and Damien Priest, Finn Balor, Bad Blood. There's a lot of bad blood with 1D floating around at the moment, and it's all gonna come to a head at that show. It just makes more sense for the heels to pull it off yet again here. It's gonna really fuel the wanting to see Rhea Ripley just tear off Liv Morgan's head and use it as a basketball. The more that she's screwed over, and the more that she's just sort of held away from that championship and held away from getting what she wants back. And same thing with Damian Priest and Finn. He knows that's the guy that really screwed him over. Dominic's just another member. The feud between Dom is more with Rhea than it is with Priest. But it should be a pretty good match between the four of them anyway. Mixed tag team matches can always be a little clunky when it comes to tagging in your partner. But, I'm sure these four can pull it off. It should be another good showing for Priest, whose stock is on the rise. Should heat up that Ripley-Morgan feud, and Mysterio gets to show us more things out of his bag of tricks, proving that, he isn't just a one-trick pony.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that Dominik and Liv are the biggest heels on Raw right now. And they don't even have to wrestle, and they don't have... And in Dominik's case, he doesn't even have to talk to get heat. He just has to be holding a microphone, and the crowd does the rest. Yeah, I do. I think this is just another step in towards Rhea Ripley versus Liv at Bad Blood, and I think this is just going to be one of those, it's going to be a good tag match. But we'll have to see. But it should be fun.
Then going from absolute blood feuds, a couple of them, into one of our big world title matches, the undisputed WWE Championship on the line. Cody Rhodes defending it against his friend Kevin Owens. A little bit different of a tone of match.
Yep. Although definitely on SmackDown last week, they definitely were doing some hinting. First, you had Grayson Waller show a package of all the times Kevin Owens has betrayed somebody in the time that he's been in WWE.
It's long.
Yeah. Which shocked me that they actually showed the Chris Jericho one. And then there was a moment at the end of the show after the match. It looked like Kevin was fighting with himself, or whether or not he had actually attacked Cody or not with the title. And then he blows past him to yell at Waller in theory. So they're definitely hinting on it. I don't think it will happen because I think Kevin Owens as a face is more needed right now. Um, and I think there's another person that needs to do the heel turn against Cody more, but it's not Kevin Owens. Although I would not have a problem with Kevin Owens being a heel. But I just think it's for the overall storylines and stuff. I think they're just going to play it out. It'll be a straight up one-on-one match. It'll go about 20 minutes, and it'll end with about 3 crossroads, and Cody Rhodes will retain.
Yeah, I think this one's like the outcome is pretty cut and dry. I think Cody Rhodes will be walking out with the WWE Championship. I don't put a lot of stock in Kevin Owens walking out with the championship.
I'm 70-30.
Okay.
I think there is, if they want to go with the heel turn, then I think you absolutely put the title on.
I'm like 85-15.
Yeah, I think I could honestly see Kevin Owens walking out with the title. It's not something that seems that out of place to me. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do next for Cody. This definitely feels more like a stopgap feud than anything else. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, and it will be, as you say, I think the story of this match is Kevin Owens going to turn. And there will be so many moments throughout the match where you think he's going to, maybe he gets a weapon in his hand, or he gets a chance to cheat or to do Cody dirty, and maybe he resists that and it haunts him, and he can turn later on down the line potentially as well. There's different ways to take the Kevin Owens character, and yeah, we'll have to see which one they go in Berlin. And talking about another one of Cody Rhodes' friends, the World Heavyweight Championship, on the line. Gunther, Randy Orton. There's some mix and match to do with what brand the title will go on, and some wrestler swaps and stuff. But it's Gunther, it's Randy Orton. It's a rematch of the King of the Ring finals, and it's in Berlin.
I can't wait for that entrance. I think that will be some insane, like, crowd reaction when Gunther walks out in front of basically his hometown crowd. He's technically Austrian, and that's another thing. But
There were wars
uh,
fought over that one. But yeah, it's as close to a home crowd as you're gonna get. I don't see us having a
yeah,
premium live event in Austria anytime soon.
yeah. But yeah, when he walks out with that title, the crowd is going to absolutely eat it up, and that'll be right after they serenade Randy Orton with his song. Um, I think this will. I think this could end up being a match of the year candidate.
That's some high praise. I'm interested to see how it goes bell to bell, right? Because um, I'm putting even less stock in a Randy Orton win here. It would shock me, I think, if you look at Gunther's history, and you look at 850 odd days with the UK Championship, over 650 days with the Intercontinental Championship. Seeing him lose the World Heavyweight Championship in a month, it's not exactly his style. And then, yeah, Randy Orton, great wrestler, should put on a pretty good, not a rehash, but if you think about their King of the Ring final, how good that match was, then you look at it here. It should still be pretty good between the two of them. It will be interesting to see how it all shakes out, though.
I did mention that there was somebody I thought needed the turn on Cody more than Kevin Owens, and I think that's Randy Orton himself. Um, I I think we need to see the Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes feud. I think it'll be phenomenal storytelling because they have all that history that they can go through and do all that they need to go over. That's something that can go several months if necessary. But I think it's something that needs to be down the road. Uh, and just so, yeah, Gunther wins. He retains his first title reign, and we'll be off and running on the Gunther Revenge Tour.
Well, that's it for WWE Bash in Berlin. We've gone a little bit over halfway, but we're going to go into the entrance theme now. When we come back from the entrance theme, we're going to talk about NXT No Mercy, at least as many of the matches as we can fit in. But that theme that is going to be playing for you is the Bash in Berlin theme, Rata-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, by Electric Callboy and Baby Metal. And you're back to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. NXT No Mercy. We got roughly 10 minutes, so we're going to motor through these matches in random orders. Tag Team Championship just got into the hands of Chase University. Are they going to lose them to Nathan Frazier and Axiom on the rematch?
No, but Chase, you did win the tag titles before, and then immediately did lose them. So, nothing would surprise me. And I think if Chase U does lose it, it will be because of Duke Hudson.
Damn it, Duke.
But I think they retained, and that'll allow Nathan and Axiom to go off and do their own thing. Maybe even move them up to the main roster to be a tag team for one of the sorely needed divisions. Or just have them off and doing their own things. But yeah, I just think Chase U retains here, and I don't think it's going to be the team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom that takes the titles off of them.
Well, speaking about tag teams, we got one of them exploding as we're going to see Wesley go up against TNA's Zachary Wentz.
I think this might be one of the matches that TNA gets a leg up on NXT. I like Wesley. I like him a lot. I'm not sure I'm buying him as a heel because I'm not sure he buys himself as a heel. But I think this will be a fun match because we know what Wesley can do. I don't remember much about Zachary Wentz when he was in WWE, and I haven't seen him since. So I'm a little hesitant to give it this will be like a match of the weekend candidate thing. But I think it'll be a very good match just because Wesley's in it. But yeah, I think Zachary Wentz wins here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't have the list of matches in front of me, but I do think that definitely TNA has not won a majority of the matches that they've been involved with on NXT. So it will be cool to sort of, I guess, push that anything can happen mentality. There is a match later on in the night that could push that a lot more, depending on its match outcome. Whether I think it's going to happen or not is something different. But it's always cool to see stars you might not expect to pick up the win coming out on top. And talking about stars that I expect to win, NXT North American champion Oba Femi going up against one of his toughest challenges yet, as he's got Tony D'Angelo with the entire family backing him up.
I think this will be a fun match. Oba, I think, is getting better and better with each defense. Honestly, I think he is going to be what WWE wanted Omos to be. Because he's already pretty good in the ring. He's got a good handle of his character. I love the family, but I don't think Oba loses to him. But nothing would surprise me.
I was wondering which way you were going to go with this one. I thought maybe you might pick Tony. Maybe. But yeah, Oba Femi has just looked so dominant on NXT. I don't quite know who's going to be the one that steps up to him. This seems like one of those cases of once somebody takes the title off him, he's going to be either propelled even further upwards or onto the NXT Championship scene, which I don't think right now is ready for him. I think it's got some other things going on that need to resolve off first. So having him be dominant, having him still hold that championship around his waist, I think it's a good look. It's given him more experience, and ultimately I think it's doing good for NXT.
Getting him ready for the next level will absolutely be imperative, and I think they're doing him a real justice, and they're doing it really well in terms with his having this title having matches with like the match he had with Otis, um, and Wesley and others, and just slowly bringing him up the card. I do think when he does lose it, if he doesn't immediately get picked to the main roster, I do think that's when they plug him into the NXT Championship picture.
Yeah, and just looking quickly at the list of NXT North American champions, it looks like Obafemi's hanging around 230 days for his reign, whereas the longest reign is Wesley at 269. So just over a month away from holding the record for longest NXT North American Championship reign. I could definitely see him breaking that record as being something that he does in this title reign. So maybe he goes over Tony D'Angelo, holds it for another couple months, and sets his name in stone. But then we got the Women's North American Championship as well. Kalani Jordan. She managed to pick up a win this week on NXT against TNA's Rosemary before being quickly attacked by Wendy Chu, her opponent at No Mercy.
Well, Kalani's not been champion for that long, but this is also when Wendy Chu just recently returned to the company after injury, and she's got this whole new character. As much as I've liked what Kalani's done. I've liked the work she's put in. I think Wendy wins. I think she takes the title off of her and does her black magic somewhere else.
Yeah, I think Wendy Chu's a very interesting character. Obviously, reinvented after the whole pajamas, and now we're just scary pajamas, but still reinvented. I do wonder if this little pairing with Rosemary is something that's going to pay off a little bit down the line, or if it is just going to be a little one off on NXT. Rosemary did hang around after the match and sort of laugh while Chu was putting on the sleeper hold and attacking Kalani. Maybe that's what tips the scales in Wendy's favor, and we start a sort of cross-branded creepy woman alliance. We'll have to see. But I'm with you. I think Kalani Jordan's time is up. NXT Women's Championship: Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker.
I loved the gauntlet with the give women that had never had a shot at the title a shot. I like that it is Jada. I think Jada's well on her way of being established. Unfortunately, Roxanne Perez is at such a level right now that I just can't see it being somebody that comes out of the blue that beats her. I think it will be one of the big names that they've signed that hasn't debuted yet, that takes the title off of her. And so I think Jada will have like several moments during the match that will make you that will be the Sami Zayn, oh my God, there he's going to win the world title thing. You're going to be feeling like that. But at the end of the day, Roxanne Perez will win.
Yeah, I was gonna say the biggest disadvantage here for Jada Parker is that her name is not Julia Delta or Stephanie, and it be what it
Or
be.
or Gilliana,
Um,
or however that's pronounced.
NXT Championship. We got Joe Hendry from TNA. Will he do it? Will he be able to take out All Ego Ethan Page? Especially now that we know Trick Williams will be the special guest referee.
I would love for it. I would love for it more than anything else because I think that would make Joe Hendry unique, being the first person to hold a WWE title that's not part of the company. Um, I would love the idea of it being shown on both programs, storylines throughout both shows involving it. Um,
End it
but
there.
I don't.
No, stop the
Yeah.
count.
Unfortunately, I don't think he wins here. I think there'll either be somebody from from TNA that comes over and stops him, probably Josh Alexander, um, or and they kind of hinted towards that at the end of NXT tonight because Trick Williams is the special guest referee. Pete Dunne gets involved, and there'll be a referee bump taking out Trick Williams because of Pete Dunne. And Ethan Page then cheats and retains the title, or that allows the TNA person to come in and attack Joe Hendry, which allows Ethan Page to retain.
It is unfortunate. What I wish is a Joe Hendry win. What I expect is an Ethan Page retention. But we'll see which of those happens this weekend for NXT No Mercy, because we have run out of time for this week. It's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestling R&D up, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/wrestling R&D up, or our YouTube page, youtube.com/wrestling RND up. And we will catch you next week.